This specific instance is a testing for the audio system, recording for its headphones, and also the environment, receiving background, layered with the first video attempt on gratitude and habits and gratitude. There's baking going on in the background. I'm at work. The guys running around with stuff. I'm a little early by an hour, now half hour. Surprising that being away, I might as well make it worth it. But entering the space, welcome. Viewer of energy, I welcome you to this place. My audio is coming from my headphones. My video is on a set of keywords introducing information for hidden knowledge, topic, school, subjects. People carry on impactful layered information subconsciously through use and parallel passing.
I hate those pens.
What is this? This grip is the worst grip ever. Oh no. Oh no. Got distracted. It's okay. Terrible. Is this a new pen?
Yeah,
There's a little crusty thing on it still. Yeah, did you try it and it didn't work? Oh! Oh, okay. My only blue pen. Okay. No problem. I could work in future editing, actually, for notation references. Yes. Numerology starts with the concept of splitting into conscious form. So, energy is always going to be the same. Energy is always energy. It is the perception in which you're interacting with said energy to create the perception of what you are looking at. One, in numerology, is intuition. Everything being one, perceptively, represents intuition. That's how numerology translates through the path of energy. Is what could one represent as the perception of energy in the respect of the environment. And then 2, 3, 4 keeps moving onwardly to respectively add more pools of energy to perceive. So one topic could be a pool of energy that you will refer to as one thing, and being a part of that thing makes you intuitive in retrospect. Forward on, you add two to alignment. That's two pools of energy in extremes, in many, whatchamacallit, what is that word I'm looking for? Spectrums. Spectrums? Yes, and any two spectrums would need two sides of the pool to compare to. And having the transfer between the two extremes be the catalyst of change that you separate further into. But you would need those two extremes to start an idea that one can be one thing or the other. And that obviously is the idea of alignment. So I won't need to go any further because I don't have an infinity to ramble on. That's just numerology. So that's powerful layered information within itself. That is just base information for looking at energy. And then from the perspective of every living creature and the idea of relationship, color theory comes into contact with the idea that something can be the same thing but give off a different level of energy at the same time just because it is a different color. A lot of people don't know that color observed is light. People usually don't consider that light is energy that's been transferred already from a previous source, which is our environment, before it gets to our eyes. And any law of energy transfer would dictate that before the energy has arrived to us in the form of color vision, it has to first translate its leftover color from whatever it's left. So you can't have what the thing that it bounced off has in your picture frame because it is it. It is not the light that came to you as your brain translates it. Everything is the literal opposite on the color wheel that it would be if you flipped everything. As the red, blue, yellow primary colors would dictate that secondary coloring would include, of course, your greens, orange, purple. Being able to lock into those simple two first layers of the color wheel, you can start to see reds and greens are prevalent in patterns people use holidays like Christmas, very famously. Blues and orange, which can also be compared to blues and yellows. Very popular color combinations because a gold is also a kind of orange. People could say easily. Blue and gold. So these two complementary colors would be a key clue to the reciprocal environment. Not that you would need to understand what it would look like, just the idea that nothing is what it actually seems it to be, because as it comes to you, it is the reverse. Now that being said, this information by itself is not incredibly meaningful. It is just detailed in flashing. Oh, okay. Green is red, red is green, orange, blah, blah. But all of that only really comes into contact with deeper meaning when it comes to letter green, which is the chakra network that began working on about. And it's basically the shelf of basic knowledge. I'd say that set of knowledge is the main course. And there's two sides of it that make it a true experience, which is satisfying and completely balanced out with flavor and depth. So mind, body, spirit experience. We can just go through that. Numerology, color theory, chakra network system. But after that, you start to become intelligent. You gain knowledge enough to respect yourself. Now, what are you going to do with yourself? And that starts to go into the last two schools, which are, as written on card, astrology and light working. This information is so impactful that it often has needed time to soak into literally anybody who has contact with it. No one who immediately contacts this information deeply understands it. It takes actually investing pocket information in a completely different experience to gain the true knowledge that astrology actually brings you, and that is this. What pattern is the pattern of life, how life eventually starts from nothing to something. And what I mean nothing, I mean absolutely everything. Reversing itself into something that can be conceived as a thing, a singular thing instead of everything at once. The bounds of our understanding on a common level continues to be held back by school systems who suggest that we should understand things that float in space are just rocks. And heat from the sun and the power that we use to run our civilizations and planets don't basically come from the same source. Like, in order for an actual living system to encroach itself from nothing, it has to first become a thing or one thing. This numerology concept starts to come into play, the oneness. It has to come from the one thing. And the most basic thing that we have to contend into the universe with etymology is hydrogen, right? What is it? The one singular atom structure, helium, hydrogen, one of those two very small ones. That is a gas, a flammable gas. If you just started with a whole bunch of ones and you compress them together with gravity, which is the most basic, whatchamacallit, in our entire universe, push it together hard enough with gravity to make it caught on fire, you get a sun. You get a sun. Then you keep flipping your sun, the sun keeps dying and exploding, and that eventually becomes a thing. It becomes bigger things, more complex, 2s, 3s, 4s. This climbing in numerology. The heat in which you cook these ones and twos would be able to be seen if you could observe it through the color theory. The color theory that spins from that would be able to eventually create complex systems, be able to be vibrating at a different speed than just gas. You can start making solids and liquids. Once these solids and liquids are happening while it's at a cooler state, not condensed into plasma, it makes planets. The planets float into the respective gravitational throw. The sun reignites because not all ones go away. Ones are always going to stay because energy cannot be destroyed or created. The idea that energy could be destroyed and not created, it circles everything back around to the fact that the only way that any of this can happen is that fourth dimensional reality has to cool itself down from where it is to third dimensional reality. This particular way of seeing reality also coincides with the 20-80 principle, which is 20% is hypercondensed and 80% of reality is space, which also reflects our current life reality, which is 80% water and 20% dense fundable matter. Okay, my brain is fried. I am going to stop this and go work.